Hello everyone and welcome back. This is now episode 3 of Dyson Sphere Program, and it's just me continuing on from my last episode. I think what I'm going to want to do now is automate a couple more things. So the first being, I wonder how I can do this. I need to automate these so that I can automate the next few things. But what do I need? I need this. So I think I'm going to need this space here. So let's just reorganize a few things. So we're going to need, let's maybe make 4. And then this is going to go all the way back and around. Trust me, this will make sense in a little bit. So we need these prisms. Oh no, we need prisms first. Damn it. Okay. Prisms. So maybe what I'll do is I'll make prisms go this way, and then we'll grab 4, and this can go back this way. This definitely could be constructed much more efficiently, but actually no, they're not prisms, they need to be these things, which need prisms. I'm a little bit disorganized at the moment, but things will organize themselves soon. So the way this is going to work, the prisms are going to come in like this, and we're going to grab these magnetic coils, and so now we just need to make the prisms, and I think we can just steal prisms from this glass here. I wonder if 3 is going to be enough. Probably not. Let's make 4. So make 4. And hopefully we still have enough glass going through for our other buildings. Once again, you could come up with all the different ratios, but I figure that once you set up your boxes such that when they fill, they no longer continue being filled up, things just work out. So that's my whole plan. Just things will work out. Just trust the process. Things will work out. We're actually going to go up twice now because I need to get over the top of this belt, and I'm going to go back down to 1, and then I could just move these wind turbines and everything would be easier, but let's just work around them. Okay, so this should be, so this is going to be the prisms, and we're going to need power, and by the way, I'm just spinning the screen by holding middle mouse button. You basically can't play this game without a middle mouse button, because you do have to rotate things around a lot and zoom in and zoom out with the scroll mouse in and scroll mouse out. Yeah, couldn't really survive without that. Okay, so that looks like we're now got the prisms coming in. So now this is going to be the, I actually don't even know what these things are called. What are they called? Plasma exciters. So the plasma exciters are now coming out. I know what the items are. I actually don't know what all their names are. And now you're going to have to go underneath both of these, and then it's going to spin around and come back this way somehow. Under here, over, like that, over, under. Yeah, perfect. And the reason I'm doing this is because these wireless power towers, which are amazing by the way, and I'll make them quite shortly, they need these Tesla towers to be able to build. So it's a bit of a unique item in that you have to place this sort of next to one of these. Now we obviously don't want to just steal all of those, so we're going to limit this to about maybe just 1, because I think they're stacked to 100. But the reason why these are so good, when one of them made, I'll show you, is if I place this down here, when you stand next to them, they actually give you power back. So as you can see, my power's going up much quicker. And what you can do is you can actually place a number of them, and your power goes up even faster. So basically what I always do is, once you sort of get started, I always carry around, 50 or so of these, and whenever your power situation's down, rather than relying on your fuel. Speaking of which, we need to automate graphite. You just place down those wireless power transmitters, and yeah, got fuel for days. Okay, so we're gonna set up, maybe let's just do a few, because we actually don't need that much, because they're all just gonna sit in a box. And we have a box, we do. And we got environment modifications, so we're actually going to automate that too. So these are going to all be graphite now. So this will be our fuel box, and we want maybe 5. I wonder if I can do that. Is that going to power everything? Oh, perfect. Okay, so this is our fuel box, which got plenty of it, which means we don't need this coal anymore. Although we got extra, so we're gonna clean out our inventory, I think, right now. So over here, we're just gonna chuck everything into our garbage bin that we don't need. So all of those, that, don't need those, don't need those, don't need those. That's about it. And these things, oh no, we do not need those to keep building. I said I don't even use these thermal power plants, and we've just made absolute excess of them. But that's not a problem. Okay, so actually going to relocate these, because I'm actually going to extend our little hub just a little bit further. So you're going to go around the back, and I don't think we're going to need this stone anytime soon, so we're going to wipe out those maybe 3, because they're going to be in the way. But actually what I need is actually I think we might have already had it, yeah, so we can build these ones now. So we're going to start with the oil extractor, then the refiner, then the chemical plant. So I think what we said before is we don't need the iron, so we're going to make this go down. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a gap. That's okay. So you're going to have to go maybe there, there, there. We're nearly at the point where we're not going to continue upgrading our hub, and we're going to more focus on science, but not right now. So you're going to be oil extractor, or refinery, and chemical plant. And then we're going to place the boxes like we've done before. Place a power just there and there. And so what do you need? You need... Do any of these need glass? That one needs glass. Do any of these coils? None of them needs coils. Okay, so we're going to somehow wind this over here. So I'm turning it into a little bit of spaghetti, but that's okay. So we're going to wind maybe in and up. Is that going to work? Up again? Yeah. And then somehow we're going to, in this gap maybe? Yeah. See, that gap was intentional. That's why I had that gap there. Just so I can wind this all the way through. And it looks like we're starting to get low on resources, so we might have to increase those coils. So you're gonna, actually we're gonna jump down, actually you need to be up high to get over this, and then jump down 1 to get to there. Nope, you need to go down. So this is a little bit awkward to get the heights right sometimes, because sometimes it's a little tricky. So we want you to be there but up 1. So it's trying to go down, so if we set it to that location. Does that work? Now across 1. Actually, you know what? We're gonna, if I do this and I press R, that'll change the way it goes. Ah, no! Are you serious? I just deleted the whole belt. Oh, how far back did it delete the belt? It deleted the whole one all the way back here. Great. So we're gonna have to run the belt again. Well, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, that is very annoying. It must be horizontal. Yeah. So we have to snake it all the way around and then back up and through. And let's not actually delete the whole belt again. So what did I do last time? I went down. And then and there. And then I went up one. And then down. And then up. I think we went... No, we didn't go that way. We went this way. Come on, drones. Hurry up and build the thing. And then we went up. Is that up? It is up. And then I think we need to go up one more to get over the steel. Come on. Oh, waiting, take a little bit of my coffee. And yeah, I was actually listening to my last episode, and you can actually hear some like plates and bowls sort of being moved in the background. The reason for that is I'm in a small 2-bedroom apartment, and well, that apartment. Sorry, I'm just trying to concentrate. Look at this. I've got a housemate at the moment as well as our main room. So both our bedrooms are basically full. And so where I'm actually at the moment, it's not quite in a bedroom. It's basically just behind the kitchen in our main sort of living room in the apartment. And there's not a whole lot of space. So it means that if someone's in the kitchen, you know, making lunch or doing something, you know, you might actually hear some of those noises, but bear with it. Things will be okay. Why is this not working? This is really annoying. So if I go down one, wait, did that work? Is that what I wanted? That is what I wanted. Okay, now let's not delete the whole belt. So let's just delete these 2 sections and maybe that one too. And then hopefully now you can go down. Can you go down? You can go down. Okay, perfect. Now we have what we need. So what do you need? You need... Wait, I feel like I'm missing something. Am I missing something? No, I'm not. Okay, cool. So you need that, put that in there, that, and that. Now, did that work? Yes, everything's being there. Now, we only want one of those. Let's set these first. We want maybe 3 of those and probably 3 of those. So I think from memory, these need the same as the oil extractors, and these needed the glass. And I don't think they needed these. So I think that should be everything, and it is. Okay, perfect. So they're now automated as well. And then the last thing we're going to automate a number of these, because we do use a lot of them. So this is just going to be pretty much the end of the hub. So we're not going to worry about anything anymore. But this is going to be foundations, because we use a lot of foundations. And well, actually, what I'm going to do is, instead of having a box here, we're going to have a belt. So that's just going to place it onto a belt. So hopefully this will give us a little bit more flexibility with regards to building, because we'll be able to build some things where there's water currently. Okay, I think this is nearly it for our hub. There is only 2 more things that I want to actually set up here. Why is that like that? Oh, I don't have that research yet. Perfect. So the only other things I want to automate from here, and everything else will be somewhere else, is Mark II sorters and Mark II belts. And the Mark II versions need the original versions as well. So we're going to just move this in this direction now. cut off the ends, get rid of the middle, so that in future we'll have you know, buildings like this, and there'll be whatever we need for the upgrades coming in here, and the box, where it is, sitting behind. So this will be Mark II, I think we've got Mark II sorters, yeah, and this will be Mark II belts. And yeah, so you can even start to put that in there. Should we actually start automating this? I think we probably will. So now let's set up an electric motor factory. So do we have any iron nearby? And actually one of the researches we got was this one. And what that does is it lets us see one of the 5 basic sources. No, able to view the vein reserves in the whole planetary system. And this one's actually in the whole planet. So if you click on this button here and set up, there's things you can toggle on or off. I always have this on. And what that does is it gives a little icon above the little mining things, the resources, and it tells you how much there is. And so when you hit M now, you can now see where everything is much clearer. So if I go over to where it's dark, you can still see where everything is, and that's really handy. So, noting that we want motors, I think we're going to grab this here, although we do need more copper, but we've got extra copper here. I'm wondering if there's a better spot for it. Maybe over here? Could this be our... where have we got other resources? So we could take that iron. Is there any other iron? There's iron down here. So we have, take the iron here, set this up as an iron foundry, and then over here can be our factory. I think that's what we'll do. So let's set that up now, I think, and we'll use this copper from here. Okay, perfect. So what do we need? We need miners, which we've got, we need forges we've got, we need probably a little bit more belts. And that's it. But yeah, now that we've got these wireless towers, and the other thing about wireless towers is they extend power really fast, so as you can see from there to there, not a problem. So they're really handy. But I tend to more use them for getting power back. So let's grab this. Now once again, I'm sure other people that play this game play it differently than I do and have different priorities, but this is the way I like to do it. Set up our automated buildings first rather than go for max science. When I first played this game, science was the first thing I went for, and I tried to really get as much science going as quickly as possible, but I found that I was just handcrafting so many things and it was taking so long that I thought, you know, let's try again. So I've actually had about 5 playthroughs. I say 5 playthroughs, but like the first one I played for like 3 hours, just made a complete mess and decided to start again, and then I did that a couple of times until I felt that, yeah, I sort of know what I'm doing now. And so I've probably had, I think, 3 playthroughs where I've sort of beaten the game. One sort of beat it and then stopped, so I haven't really played the late game. Another I played a little bit further into the late game, and then much further in my more recent playthrough. But I'm hoping that this series becomes the series where I really go far into the late game. Okay, so what are we going to need? We're going to need similar to this previous one, so we're going to want iron, maybe 5 and 5. We are going to need plenty of these magnets as well. So magnets, iron, iron. Actually, might even set up some blueprints soon, so I can show you how blueprints work. And apparently I need that to be a little bit further. So I probably could have done this via blueprints, but I will use blueprints when we're setting up the next part of the factory. And I can show you how those work, because they really make setting up buildings much quicker. But noting that So look at our power. So our power's dropped down, but if I place, say, 4 of these and stand in the middle, now it does take power from this from your grid. So I'm currently using 36, dropped down to 17. So it does use a lot of power to charge yourself, but that's why another reason why I like to have extra power. We're also going to need copper, and like before, we're going to drag it right around. So this is going to be a bit of a spaghetti mess, but it's okay. Actually, maybe I can pull it down this way. Yeah, maybe we'll go the other way. So we don't need as much copper, so we're going to do probably 5. So if I go 5 like this, and then I'm sure somehow I'll be able to spaghetti it back this way, even if we have to go up. Can I go up 2? I can go up 2. So we'll find a way to spaghetti it back in the other direction. You may not be able to, and I'm having difficulties with my mouse. My previous mouse, the middle mouse button stopped working with the scroll mouse. Oops, that's in the wrong direction. So I've actually ordered a new one, but it'll probably take a week or so to get here. Would normally go down to the shop and just buy one, but at the moment we're in lockdown, so I can't actually buy one from the shop. Whoops. Press the paste button instead of the copy button. So how am I going to be able to snake this over the top? So if I go, no, I want you to go up, not down. Is that going to work? It is going to work. Perfect. Okay, so I think we're going to drop this down here. So it's down the bottom there. Yep, perfect. You're going to go this way, and we're going to do this like, is that, yeah, underneath this. Energy will deplete. Why is that? Collide with another object. Ah, it's because this is stupid. Get out of the way. And as you can see, placing lots of things at once really draws our power, although also our fuel is out. Oh god, so if I wait for you to come back, hopefully you'll place that down, although there's another drone there, so he's also going to have to come back. And it looks like he's not even moving, so there's another drone that's coming back. Maybe this one. So let's just walk incredibly slowly. Wait, I think there was... I think there was coal in this bin over here. Oh god. This is why it's always worth monitoring your power, because even though I can place one of those wireless downs, yeah, my dudes, they need power to actually come back so they can place it. Okay, place these please. You're back, you're coming back. Perfect. And now that these are placed, my power situation is going to go up really quickly. Okay, and this is going to go under there. Okay, and we're going to need, so I'm going to put this on this side, I think. 5, this makes 6. I think we're going to need a lot of these from memory. And you're going to be these. Out, 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 out. Oh, there's got to be some researches we can do soon. Otherwise we'll move into red. Okay, so we're going to have to extend this copper line. And we're going to have to thread these underneath. So they're going to sit underneath the steel line. It's a really handy thing about this game, that the fact that you can have it in 3 dimensions really makes it easier to try to coordinate where things go, because you know you can go over the top of other lines and things can go over the top of each other. It'd be very difficult if it was just 2-dimensional. Okay, that work? We're missing the copper. And we're also missing this. Nope, that's coming now. So hopefully now the copper will come. And then we'll set the iron up. So what I'm going to do... so you're going to go over, drop back down, and then under. And the iron is going to come next to it. Like so. In fact, we're going to switch it. We're not going to go there. We're going to go yeah, here. And now I'm going to set up a blueprint actually. Actually, these need to be offset from memory. Oh, actually, I'm going to do it my other way. Sorry, I'm not actually explaining many things as I go here, but things will make sense. Why did I forget to do that? I do not need that many splitters. I definitely don't need that many splitters. Actually, no, this is where it can go. So we're going to have a splitter here. Actually, no, I was right in the first place. The splitter is going to go here. Are they both up? They are both up. Cool. So we want you to go there, then across, then up, then across. And these are going to go in this direction, I think. I definitely haven't organized this as well as I could, but it doesn't matter. Things will be clearer in a sec. And then you're going to go down. So this is just so I can set up some blueprints. Okay, I think this is going to work. So the way it works is these electric motors need gears as well, but instead of making a new gear line, I'm just going to make the gears go straight into them from next door. And then this is going to be the electric motors. Electric motors. And our power situation is cut out again. So we're definitely lucky that we got these wireless power towers now, because we would be waiting for so long without them. But we're nearly done setting this up as well. Wait, do we have enough sorters? We do have another stack of 100. So the iron is the middle. Actually, this is not going to work, and I'll show you why in a sec. These are going to have to be offset a little bit like that, because otherwise these are going to get in the way of each other. Oh, actually, no, it's not. No, that's why I did this in the first place. That's why I've got these belts here twice. Okay, so it's taken me a little bit of a while to set up, but now things will start to make sense. So sorter. No, that's wrong. Oh, what am I doing? There. Okay, now let's actually set the sorters up properly. That goes into there, that goes into there, that goes into there, that goes into there. There. Did that work? One more sorter. Where's my sorter? There. Okay, that is working, I think. Okay, now I don't know if I've got enough blueprints, but what we can do now is copy this and paste it, and paste it again. And I could keep pasting it, but I think we're going to run out of resources at that point. So that's what blueprints are. You can basically construct it once and then just copy and paste. You still have to let your drones place it down, but as you can see, it's much quicker than me having to manually construct it every time. Sometimes you have to reconnect sections of the belt, which is not too big of a deal, and you generally have to wait for your drones anyway, so you might as well, so it doesn't really waste any time having to do that while your drones are placing everything. But now we went from just automating sort of 2 lines to 6 quite quickly. And yeah, once you get into the late game, you use blueprints a lot more. And so I typically set up, two buildings and then copy paste the 2 or maybe 3. And what you can do is, I could grab this whole thing now. So rather than doing that, I could copy the whole thing and then paste the whole thing. Unfortunately, at the moment I can't, because there's a research here for blueprints, and it's how many buildings you can place at once. So you can only do a small number, and as you go, you can get more and more and more. And basically, you can have infinite. You can actually place down an entire planet if you really, really want to. And I think some people do that. I have never done that. I only do sort of small buildings. Okay, so now we've got a ton of electric motors. And I'm going to move this over here for reasons that I'll explain later. But we've got electric motors. So now we could actually combine these. Alright, how are we going to... We have to go down underneath these and then over. How am I going to do this? Wait, if I go... It's a splitter that's the thing that's the problem. Now if I go over, perfect. Okay. I'm going to stay up, go over, and then go back down, connect to there, and then connect you to there, and we've set up our Mark II sorters. So all of this just for our Mark II sorters. But we will be using this for other things later as well. And it's always handy to have motors. You do use a lot of motors. So I just call these motors. And then the upgraded motors, which are... I don't even have them yet. Can I research them? I think they're here. Oh, I need red signs. I just call these greens. They're actually electromagnetic turbines, but I call them greens. And the reason why, might as well explain it now, the reason why I want some more space and I'm setting this up is because we're going to have some green motors here. And then once we've finished the green motors, they'll come in this line because basically you take these, you add green motors, and then you get Mark II belts. And so that's where the Mark II belts will be. And that is absolutely everything we're going to have in this hub. Nothing more. Once I set that to about there. And the reason why I want to get these before I move on to red science is because these are much quicker. So you don't... With these Mark I sorters, they really do throttle sort of throughput. Like they become the bottleneck. But jumping up from there, that's 1.5 trips per grid per second. Whereas this jumps up to 3, so it doubles. So it's a massive difference. So we're going to grab those. And I think now we're going to move on to red science. And what we need for red science is some oil refineries, as well as I'm going to grab some of these storage tanks for reasons that I'll explain later. And we're going to need coal, foundries, and those. Okay, so now we're going to need to find coal. I'm going to need some of these power poles. We're going to dump our basic resources so I can just focus on buildings. We might need some more belts. So we're going to need belts, we're going to need sorters. We don't really need these. I think that's everything, although I am going to need more sorters. So hopefully it won't take too long to get sorters. 60 might be enough. It'll be close to enough. Okay, so ultimately this is where our research location is going to end up. So I'm thinking this will be where our refinery situation is. We can grab oil from there, and there. And we're also going to need some coal, which we'll just grab that one. So that's easy. So let's make a start on red science, because it looks like we can't really research anything else until we get red science. And I think we're also going to need more stone by the looks of things. So while we're here, let's grab some extra stone. Perfect. So red science is actually quite easy. You just need hydrogen and graphite. Graphite's quite easy. It's just, you know, coal and then smelting coal. So we'll just use this coal here, so that's quite easy. And you need oil for the hydrogen. It's not that hard, but it does take a little bit of setup in the oil refineries. And so we are going to want to set that up via blueprints because they're a little bit annoying. They are a little bit annoying. So I might set it up first and then I'll worry about the resources. So the way I'm going to do it, so it's a grid from here to here. So we want to try to set it up in this sort of square. And we're going to need two, so the way it's going to work is 2 lines. Then, so this is my design that I use. Then an oil refinery. Then an import, which is where the oil comes in. Then another one. And then another input. Sorry, these are outputs. And then we're going to grab these sorters. So out, out, in, out. Sorry, that's meant to be out, out, out. And then, where are we? Where are the refineries? And then, so it's going to be the in. And then 2 more for the out. And it fits between the 2 grid lines, so that's handy. Okay, and then now you're going to go in, out, out, and out, out. Now, with this recipe here, it makes both refined oil and hydrogen. So it makes 2 things. Now, I only ever want 1 thing on each individual belt. So what you can do is click on the sorter, and this is going to be our oil, and this is going to be hydrogen. And I want to do this before I turn it on. So I've got the hydrogen on the left one, so that's going to be hydrogen. Are they both the same? Yeah. Whoops. Hydrogen, oil, hydrogen, oil. You can copy and paste them, but it's a little finicky, so I always just find it easier just to click hydrogen and oil. Okay, so now let's just trim the edge, and what I like to do is just copy this so that it's next to each other once, collide with other objects. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a gap, it looks like. So a gap, and a gap, and I want to do 5. So 20 in total. So as you can see, once you get the blueprints, it's handy. And the good thing about the blueprints is all these filters, they come with the blueprint. So I don't have to go around and set up the finicky little filters each time. I think we're going to run out of power doing this, and I have a feeling, yeah. So before we do anything else, let's go back and grab some power. And I know that we're going to lose a lot of power by our drones coming backwards and forwards, but if we don't have power, it's going to take us a while. So we're just going to grab some from these wireless transmitters. Wireless transmitters? Wireless power tower. So at least now we'll have power nearby. And in fact, let's set up a little recharge point here. Lack of item. I don't have any items left. That's fine. 3 will be enough. So while the drones are doing that, we're going to hook up all of these things. Then we're going to hook up the power. And then we're going to have to do something with the oil and the hydrogen. So that's all we need to do for hydrogen. Now all we have to do is collect the oil. So there's an oil node just there. So we'll collect all the oil, bring it in. And so then we've got both the hydrogen and the graphite is going to be quite easy to do. So it's actually quite simple to make red science. But the issue is if we don't get rid of the refined oil, basically these refiners will shut down because they'll just back up with having excess refined oil. So even though we'll have hydrogen being constructed, if we don't do something with the oil, nothing will be built. So we are going to have to work out what we do with the oil. So this is where a lot of people decide that they can use those thermal power generators, thermal power plants, and you can burn oil in those. So basically all your excess oil turns into power, everything's good. I don't do that. I just store it. And the reason why I store it is because later in the game, when you get to yellow, yellow needs these items, which need these items, which need these items, which need etc. But what these need ultimately is plastic and refined oil. So you actually need more refined oil than you do hydrogen for 100 science per minute. So you actually have an excess of hydrogen and not the refined oil. So if I store it all up, then I've got this big buffer that we've got enough hydrogen and oil for a while, and then over time I'll actually have too much hydrogen. So there's no point burning it, in my view. I get enough power from my wind turbines, so I just store it for later. So let's set all this up with power now, and then we'll go grab some. We'll grab some oil. My brain is definitely too slow at the moment. But yeah, you can really see how quickly our power situation just drops. We don't have any fuel, but even so, like it just tanks so quickly. Late game is just not a problem. Like once you make antimatter fuel rods, you just effectively have infinite. Alright, so we're going to grab you. It's our power, one of our first oil, and we're actually going to collect 3. So maybe this one as well over here. So let's use these turbines to go over to it. Always good to get some extra power. Speaking of which, our personal power is starting to tank, and I'm not next to. Oh no, we're gonna have to run back over here or walk back over here. You really should always just carry some extra power with you, which I haven't because I'm a bit silly, but it doesn't matter. Once we start walking over here, our power situation will be fine. And we're very nearly finished with this construction. Now, in my other playthroughs, I didn't actually spread out this much. I've got stuff built everywhere at the moment, but it's sort of just the nature of where the land is. But it is a bit more efficient than my last playthrough, so this is definitely all over the place, but like I said, it's a bit more efficient than my last playthrough. Okay, so you... I wonder if that'll be in range, or maybe those two. And then we're going to connect you up there. So now we've got 2 oil. I actually want 3. And the way oil works is, see how it's 2.4 a second? Every 12 hours of production, that halves. So it actually isn't infinite. It actually does go down. And every 12 hours it halves. In fact, I think it says somewhere. Where does it say? I'm sure I read it somewhere. Every 12 hours, yeah, there. Every 12 hours of continuous use it halves. It's not being used now, even though it's like powered up. Therefore, it's not going down. So it actually means it actually does have a defined amount, which obviously tapers off to, you know, towards 0. But it takes quite a while to get there. So we're going to set this up in a splitter. 1 input there and another input there. And I think we're going to run out of power just before we finish, which is really annoying. Is it worth walking over there, or we'll just place these slowly? I think I'll just place these slowly and then I'll walk over there slowly. Because it shouldn't take too long. Oh, come on. I definitely need to organize my power situation a bit better. And then we're going to grab this last oil refiner over here and connect it up to this splitter. I feel like there's a drone somewhere else, so we are going to slowly walk over here. But yeah, quite a lot of these. I figured, I worked out for 100 red science per second. In fact, I don't know if it's 100 red science or for 100 yellow science. I think it's for 100 yellow science. You need 18 of these refineries, so that's 20. So there's a couple of extra. Whereas I think you only need, I don't know, I could probably work it out. I think they go 15 a second, and we need 2 per red science, so we need 200. 200 divided by 15 is a number that I can't bother doing in my head. It's probably 13 point something, I think. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone will be able to do that in their head. I can't at the moment. Okay, and we're going to wind turbine it back for more power, and you're going to connect, where's the splitter? All the way to the splitter. And that should be enough oil for our hydrogen at least. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's enough oil for our hydrogen and our crude oil for the yellow science. Eventually I do need to hook up a fourth as the production rate of the refineries go down, but I think to start with 3 is enough. So I normally start with 3 and then add a fourth one later in the game. And you've got plenty of oil on your starter island, so you don't have to worry too much about running out. Speaking of running out, I think I'm going to run out of power again. But as you can see, all of these are turning on, and we've got our crude oil, sorry, our refined oil in one, and our hydrogen in the other. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this, because you can use hydrogen and crude oil for fuel. So while we're here, I'm just going to grab this and use that as fuel, and I'm going to use the oil for fuel. Okay, so we want the hydrogen to come down. So the hydrogen is going to go low, the oil is going to go high. So what I mean by that is that this will just connect just like that, whereas the refined oil is just going to go up. And then, like I said, we're just going to store this. So I'm going to drop it down, and then we're going to chuck a bunch of these down. Now, at the moment I can only stack them up 2, but later in the game you can stack these up to, I think, like 7 or something. And you have to connect it to the bottom one. Now this stores 10,000 in each. Now this can only store liquids, so there's only a few items that can be stored like this. Oil, refined oil, and hydrogen can. And so, you know, here we've got 120,000 can be stored. So that's like 10 hours worth of storage. So the system shouldn't back up anytime soon. So let's continue grabbing some of this hydrogen while the bots are doing their thing, the drones are doing their thing. And I'm going to grab those for later usage. So yeah, you can see it's slowly filling up, but yeah, it'll fill up to about 10,000. So I think by the time we've set up yellow signs, these won't be full. So yeah, we'll then be able to use those for our yellow signs. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull this maybe this way and down, and then we're going to set up our graphite, and hopefully in the next 13 minutes we'll be able to have our red science set up. And from memory, red science takes 10 seconds to make, so instead of 5 we need 10. So this is going to be our graphite. So if I go here, here, and here, our graphite can go. So you know what? We're going to grab the blueprint. So rather than take time, we're going to grab this blueprint and just set it up here. Wait, where are we? We're over here. Okay. Maybe here. Does that work? No, it's too close. Maybe here. Actually, don't know which direction these are in. Oh, it's just this. They do. They go in that direction. Maybe there. And then we'll hook this up like so. And I know these are iron and thingo, but we can change them. That's not too hard. Done, done, done. Let's grab power, power, and I don't know, power. I really would like to finish red science before the end of this episode, and I think we will have enough time. So that's going to have to change to graphite. We probably don't need this amount of graphite, but you know, it's not going to hurt having extra. And so we're going to copy paste this, so these are all graphite. Let's grab some power because I don't think they're going to connect. And then while that's happening, we're going to move this down here. And our just looking at our power situation dropping, so let's put this down so we don't run out. And we're going to need 5 of these sitting on top of each other. So if I go 5 with 2, that way I can then grab this down, across, down, across, and then this graphite's going to come across, down, across, and this can be the exit line, I suppose. And I think that'll do. I think that works. I think that works. And how's our power? Okay, cool. Well, let's just burn some more hydrogen. So you're going to join there. Need more power for you, this last one. Okay, so theoretically, this should work. Although I do think we're probably going to need green sorters for this. No, actually, might not. Might not. So, why did I do the top one first? Surely the bottom one's closer. So red. So you want to produce red, and all of these are going to produce red. And power line. So let's just double check that this makes 10 per minute, which it does. So 5 by 2 is 10 times 10 is 100. Perfect. And I think the slow sorters should be fast enough. Because they have to fill up both the bottom one and the top one. Alright, perfect. We did end up finishing red science. Actually, it didn't take too long from when I said I hope. So does that actually make... Yeah, so it looks like it's just not keeping up. But I think what we'll do is we'll add this in, and then I'll go and grab the Mark II sorters. And I think once we've got the Mark II sorters, they are starting to build the second one. The second building is starting to build. And hopefully now we will have red science automated as well. Probably should have joined in that line, but anyway. Always try to be nice and neat. So there we go, there we go. And now we have red science also automated. So let's start deciding what is... We want this so we can get upgraded belts, and then we want this so we can actually make the upgraded belts. And I think from there, rather than do yellow science straight away, we're going to grab some upgrades. So what are the things we need? We want more bots. We also want to... Do we want to move far? We want more inventory. We want more energy. Actually, we want vein utilization. So the way this works is it basically means 6% of the time your miner actually doesn't use any of the resources. So it means your resource patches last a lot longer, but also they mine faster. So this is my favorite one, and you can actually research this infinitely. And you can actually get down to really, really low numbers of utilization. So it means your veins last a really long time. And that is important because you don't want to be running out of resources all over the place. Okay, so it does actually look like these sorters are fast enough. So how much is this? Yeah, it's actually starting to, it's going up, not down, I think. 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, will that go to 10, 9... Anyway, it's keeping up, but I think we will just upgrade the sorters anyway, just to make sure. Now I think now we should have plenty of... Yeah, we do. So now our power situation won't be so bad. Okay. So how many sorters? So look how many sorters we got. We just, while doing that, so this is the great thing about having this mall. You go away, you set up some science, and look, all our boxes are full. And this one is way more full than we ever wanted it to be. But but that's alright. So look, everything is full, so everything we need is just here, and we're only sort of 3 hours, so it's not like we've been waiting around for everything to build. Okay, so this is about to finish, so now what we're going to do is set up green motors, and the way green motors works is you need electric motors, so we have 3, and basically it's 2 to 1, so you need 2 electric motors to make one of these, so this will be about 1.5 times, and you also need these magnetic coils. So we're going to go in. So one will be working half the time, one will be working all the time. And we're going to use this for green belts. We can actually also use them, I think, for blue sorters, but I think we just want Mark II of each. So there. We are just going to have this coal vein just sitting in the middle of our place for every day, for all time. So yeah, we've actually got plenty of these green ones. So what do we need to do? We need to go over and down and then connect, and then need more green sorters. No, we've got plenty of green sorters. So they're there and there. And then how long is this going to take? Well, we're at 100 a minute, so in theory it'll only take 2 minutes, so I'm inclined to just wait. While we're waiting, let's set this to, I don't know, 8. And what we might do next, so I just want to double check, so here, so that needs, yeah, so 1 motor, 3 belts makes 3 Mark II belts, and that only needs motors as well. So we could actually use those motors here. You know, like I could chuck on, you know, something like this, and then make another box for blue ones, but I actually don't want to do that, because I think what will end up happening is I'll run out of resources. Like this will just chew through everything. I mean, you see this here? All of this here is just to make Mark II sorters and Mark II belts, and this as well, and yeah, so we're not going to do that yet. And by the way, to make Mark III belts, the amount of, like, you need just about all of this stuff just to make Mark III belts, but they are worth it. It's only 1 minute away. So what I'm going to do while we're waiting for that, if I press V now, instead of just having random question marks, it actually tells you how much resources you have on this planet. So this planet doesn't have any silicon or titanium, but you can see the amount of iron, copper, stone, coal, etc., and how much crude oil per second it can get, and that will slowly go down. But in addition to that, you can actually click on the other planets, and it actually tells you what resources they have now. So for example, if I want silicon, I can now go to this planet. Well, I can't quite yet, but I will need to once I get the research too. And here, look how much stone it has. It doesn't have coal though. It also doesn't have oil, and this one here also doesn't have oil. So basically the game forces you to have to collect materials from one planet and ship it over to another, and we'll have to do that in a later episode. Another thing you can do is just click on the star itself, and it tells you the total resources. And the reason why it says fire ice at X per second and hydrogen at X per second is that's what the ice giant has. So you can collect fire ice and hydrogen from the ice giant itself, which we're very far away from doing so. So I'm not going to get into detail on that until we can much later. So now we can set this up as belts, and what we're going to do for the last few seconds, I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there's much point starting anything right now, so I might as well just do a quick outro. So yeah, so this is now episode 3. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I really quite enjoy this game. I'm really pleased with how we're going so far. We've automated both blue and red science and really set up our mall. So this is all our hub, so things are going really well. But thank you for joining me so far. I hope you're enjoying it. I might actually set up a Discord just if people want to come along and ask some questions. It might be easier to do it there rather than in the comments section. So I might put a link to my Discord in the the comments section of this video. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya. Bye.